This podcast is not sponsored or supported by any business or organization. The views reflected on these podcast episodes are my own. Be aware I am not a medical doctor, travel agent, or any other kind of expert. But I hope you still enjoy. Hey friends, welcome to the Gluten-Free Advocate, a Substack and podcast that helps me process my health journey and my determination to pretend that those health conditions don't exist at all. If you're looking for tips, tricks, and learnings for traveling the world with celiac disease and type 1.5 diabetes, you have come to the right place. Now, let's get started. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Gluten-Free Advocate. I have been waiting to interview this next guest of mine for the past 2 years. When I was traveling and was living in Italy, I found out that I had gotten laid off from my job and I would have to return home. So I decided to make the best lemonade out of all the lemons, and I gave myself a deadline of you will be returning home by after the week of your birthday, when my father would come to visit me to see where I was living and to see when everything was going on. And I had a certain amount of time, and I was going to check as many things off of the bucket list as I could. And I had just finished planning my trip to Sicily, and I saw all these options for food tours, and I really desperately wanted to be part of those food tours. And when none of them were offering gluten-free options, and I was so bummed out about it and so upset and kind of getting down and feeling very lonely. And why do celiacs always have to miss out on things? There's now enough people in the world with celiac disease. Why can't we have gluten-free food tours? And I was continuing to plan all the things for my future trips. And when I started planning Spain, I was going to Madrid and Barcelona. And in the celiac travel group, which you heard last week, Erin from Gluten Free Globetrotter, she put that group together, and I was heavily relying on that Facebook group at that time. And I still do, to be quite honest, but I saw Dvir's post of him starting to do this new thing called gluten-free food tours. And I immediately signed up. And it was 4 people, including me and including Dvir, and these 2 wonderful women that were on that food tour. And now it has grown so incredibly much, where you need to be able to plan well in advance on your trip to be able to go and stop by and be on one of his food tours. I loved hearing about his journey. I love having 2 guests in a row that have had celiac disease for a really, really long time, and like 40 plus years, because it makes me feel like, okay, it's possible. I can do it. I can keep trudging through, because sometimes it just feels too big and too overwhelming to think this is how I'm spending the rest of my life, needing to think this way. And it helps me with my pacing of my life a little bit more when I hear from folks like today's guest. So I'm going to stop talking, and please make sure that you go and check out his website and reach out to him on Instagram, and make sure you do whatever you can to be on that gluten-free food tour, because much like Celiac Cruises, it was a really amazing, incredible experience. And I still talk to the ladies that I was on that food tour with to this very day. So it's just another way for us to be able to find community. So without further ado, here's this week's episode of the Gluten-Free Advocate. Hello, welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so I really appreciate you hopping on.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you for having me.
So I actually took your food tour myself a few years ago, and it
Mhm.
was probably the best travel experience I've ever had, if not the best travel experience I've ever
That's
had.
so
But
nice. That's really nice to hear.
yeah, so I usually start at the beginning, but first I want to start off this conversation actually talking about your food tour that you do in Barcelona. Can you tell me how that came about? What inspired you to want to do that?
So I'm a big foodie. I was always, since I remember myself, I was always a big foodie. My grandma used to cook. My parents used to cook. Food was always an issue back home, and I've been celiac for so many years since I was like 7 months old, and I always wanted to be a part in a food tour as a participant, but I was never able to because everything has some gluten in it.
Mm.
So that was that. And I've been, since I got married with my husband Ron, we've been traveling all over the world, and we traveled to Barcelona so many times before moving here. And I knew quite a lot of the businesses over here. And I told him through the years, like, there should be a food tour, gluten-free
Mm.
food tour over here. How come nobody's doing that? And what happened is, like, we were thinking about relocation from Israel a few years ago, and when we thought about, okay, we can move, but what are going to we are going to do for living? And I told him, listen, I think we could do gluten-free food tours in Barcelona. I think there is like a some business opportunity over here. Let's see what happens. And we moved here a little bit more than 2 years ago.
Mm.
And I remember uh, I told him, okay, kids are in school, everybody is okay, we have a nice apartment. Let's start to check the idea of this photo for people with celiac from all over the world. And we printed a T-shirt,
Mm.
like just like one saying like gluten-free food tour Barcelona. He took some photos with his iPhone in the middle of the street. We built like a very simple website on Wix. I was surprised the domain gluten-free Barcelona was available, but it was. We bought a domain, we built a very simple website. And I remember I got into this uh, some international celiac Facebook groups on social media, like 30 groups. I'm like shocked that nobody kicked me out yet. And I published some posts, and I said like, "Hi, I have celiac. I'm doing gluten-free food tours in Barcelona. This is my website. I put on this T-shirt photo we took in the middle of the street, and I went to bed. Uh, I woke up in the next morning, and I had 600 reservations,
Wow.
not inquiries, reservations. People like, okay, this is the date I'm coming, this is the date I'm coming. And it actually ran, which is more like the practical part in our marriage. It took him like a week to just to schedule everything in the calendar to, and like it was all fully booked like a year in advance. You were one of them.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
was like, and suddenly like the calendar was like booming, and we were shocked. Like we thought, okay, maybe some people would come, and suddenly we got more and more reaction. Like, I'm coming to Barcelona in order to make this tour. I'm not coming
Yeah.
for Barcelona to see Gaudi, to do shopping,
Right.
to spend the day at the beach. I'm coming to Barcelona. I can now tell you, 2 years after, with more than 5,000 people being on this tour, people coming from Australia, people are coming
Mm.
from the US, people are coming from all over Europe for this trip, for this tour, because this is the only one in the world right now.
Mm.
There are
Right.
some people trying to do that now in London and other places, which is makes me happy because there
Yeah.
should be gluten-free food tours all over the world. But I was like shocked. I'm like the only one. I have no competition in that. So
Yeah.
on one hand, it makes me happy, but on the other, okay, I'm one person. So what
Yeah.
happens if I wake up sick, if I want to go on vacation, if I want a week off? I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Live a life. I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. So this was the beginning.
Yeah, and it was, we had a small little group that we had, and it was interesting because it's not just people that have celiac disease. Like the two other women, they just are like, no, we just eat gluten free.
Yeah.
And they were learning from the both of us of what it means to live with celiac disease. And the one thing that you said that I'll never forget, that you had made peace and you were thankful and appreciative of your diagnosis because of all that it has given you. Do you mind talking a little bit more about that? Because I remember looking at you and being like, I'm not where you're at, man. But 2 years later and really thinking about what you said, I think I'm finally getting there. And I, all because of you. So would you mind going further into what you were
Sure,
referencing when you
sure,
said that?
sure. So I have celiac for 48 years now,
Yeah.
and when you have this disease for so long, you have a lot
Mhm.
of time to think about it, and
Right.
I think there is a lot of advantages in having celiac. It made me a better person in so many ways. First thing, when you have a disease, doesn't matter which one, you are automatically more sympathize with other people with other diseases, no
Mm,
matter what. Okay, you automatically on their side. You have more awareness for other people problems, situations, diseases. You become a better person. That's
mm,
like the general idea, because you have something you feel sometimes that nobody sees, and you're like maybe you're the only one. And I have people that watch this podcast doesn't know, but when I tell you I've seen it for 48 years, it's like it was before internet. Okay,
right.
I'm that old. Okay, so when I was a child with celiac, okay, there was like nothing to buy at the supermarket. There was no bakeries. There was like, and there was no internet and social media. So I thought I'm the only one in the world that
Mm,
has celiac. It took me many years to find other people that also have celiac. Like I was like I think like 10 or 12 years. Like
wow.
when I met another person, one that
Mm,
also had celiac. So this was like shocking. So as I said, you automatically become more, you have more awareness for other people's problems. That's one. Second, if I now I know that if I was able to eat everything like normally, I would be so fat. Like a really huge foodie. Like, thank God I cannot get into every bakery and every empanadas and churros place that I can eat whatever I want. I would be so fat, you wouldn't believe it. Okay? I say thank you every day that I can't eat
yeah.
whatever I want. That's second. And the third thing is like when you have this disease, you make it your superpower. You find in yourself strength, and I'm not a religious person. Okay, just to clarify, it's not a religious thing. It's really like to find your own powers to to make things better for you, to find the things that you can eat and make it better, and to improve it, and to improve your environment and your dietary, and to eat well. And you know what? Today I don't even say thank you for anything that is like just gluten free. Okay, if I'm going to this bakery or this restaurant and I'm saying I'm celiac, what can you what options do you have that accommodate for people with celiac, and they tell me I have a salad, I have rice, I have, I don't know, like basic
Mhm.
things like potato. I would tell them, listen, this is a pizzeria, this is a pasta place, or this is a meat. Would you like to eat a salad? Would you come here to eat a salad? No. So why do you offer me a salad?
Yeah.
If this is a pizzeria, I want a gluten-free. I don't. I won't say thank you because you have a
Yeah.
salad. No,
Yeah.
okay, you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So, and second, there are some places that have gluten-free items like breads, cooking, and sometimes, not in Barcelona, sometimes they taste like, I don't want to say the bad word, okay, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? They
Yeah.
taste they are not good, okay? It's not something eatable.
right.
And I will tell people, listen, when you sell something that is gluten free, it's nice effort. But if it's bad, so I don't want to be your customer. I'm not saying
Mm.
thank you. because it's gluten free. No, there
Right.
these days in 2026 there is a standard, okay,
Mm,
and it's really high. There are
right.
places now that have really high quality gluten free food items everywhere, and just being gluten free, it's not enough. You have to, so you have to find these powers in you to know, first of all, how to change your life for the better with this disease, and then to change your community and your environment to make it better, and then you can make small changes in the world. Okay, uh, you know, I don't get any but uh, when people are registered to my tour, this is only like a 3 hours tour. Okay,
Mhm.
we go to a lot of places, we eat a lot of food, but this is on at the end of the day, it's 3 hours food tour. Uh, People are coming sometimes to Barcelona for a week. Okay, they
Mm,
get from me a list for
right.
other places they can eat in this week. So, and I'm available for them on my WhatsApp 24 hours a day. So they can ask me where to go, where can I eat this paella, this thing, this dish. I want a sushi, I want a burger, I want this, and I send them. And I today I've been to this restaurant that she didn't doesn't even know that I sent her in the past 2 years. I think more than 500 tables. Okay, that people were ordering through my recommendation.
Right.
She doesn't know who I am. Okay, and I don't want to get any money for him. Nothing. When I go there, I pay like everybody else.
Right.
But this is something that is important to me to give as a service for other people, because I want other people to enjoy their vacation and to enjoy Barcelona and to send good vibes to the world, because I believe it. I'm not
Mm,
living in this bubble that this is Dvir, this is his gluten free, this celiac disease, and he's doing the service and that's it. No, we have to be a bigger part of the change. I have a cookbook in Hebrew. uh, I have it with me. Unfortunately, your listeners can't buy it because it's in Hebrew,
yeah.
and it's not on Amazon. And it's not on Amazon.
Oh goodness, we're gonna have to
But
figure
maybe
out how to
someday.
fix that. Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Yes.
They should learn Hebrew before that.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's a bestseller in Israel. And the first sentence in this book, which I wrote, uh, for people with celiac, but especially for kids.
Mm,
And I open the book and I say, "My name is Dvir, and celiac is my superpower, and I really believe in it. This is my gift. It's not only my now profession in life and the thing I'm making a living on. This is really like something that is bigger than me. I'm just the delivery guy."
you are more than a delivery guy. I'll say that. But I know that, and we don't have, we can cut this question, but I know that you have twins, correct? And one has
Mhm.
celiac.
Yeah,
So when you're talking with people on your tour, even talking with kids, I mean, 7 months, so you've never known a life with gluten. There is no before celiac and after celiac for you. It's just with celiac. Um, is
not correctly.
yes.
I,
So, with all the things that you just said, is that how, when you have people that are, I'm sure not everybody is coming with a positive attitude about having celiac disease, that there's probably some therapy that needs to happen and some support group as well in your food tours. Is how do you make sure to do you see that? Is that your intention of like making it somewhat of a group where people have a community and building that? And how do you make sure that that continues to get fostered as you go through a 3 hour food tour and the mood doesn't dip too far down? Because sometimes that can happen when there are a bunch of us together.
yeah.
We can kind of
So
get sad.
yeah. So first of all, I have twins. They were born in the U.S. In the
Okay.
surrogacy process. So it's like technically they are not twins. They are a brother and a sister that were
Mm,
born in the same uh, pregnancy,
okay.
in like from two embryos. One mine is
Right.
one of my husband's.
Oh, right.
So so Roy, our son, got the genes for me for his celiac. And Libby, my daughter, she has my husband's genes for nothing. But uh, and he's like really strict with his gluten-free dietary. He's like he's reading all the packages and everything. He says
Mm,
gluten, no, no, not gluten-free. He's really on it. When I was a child, things were really different uh, because there was no internet and because
mm,
we know no one who had celiac as a child, and I didn't have many symptoms as a child. As a child, I used to steal a lot of food from our house kitchen.
mm,
So we had this ceremony every day that my mom was coming to my bed. She was like pushing my bed and look what I stole today. So it depends on the day of the week or the holidays. She saw this challah, then this
yeah.
matzah, this savory sweets. I was stealing like crazy. Everything you don't want to know. Okay, I was really bad with accepting my celiac, but again, there was nothing in the
Right.
supermarket for me. Okay,
Hmm.
nothing. There was no snacks, nothing, and nobody like knew what is allowed, what's not allowed. There was no marking, nothing. Like just imagine you are going to this desert of celiac, this gluten-free items. Nothing. There was no awareness. There was no flowers. Okay, so even
Yeah.
if somebody like wanted to make, there was nothing. So I know exactly how everything's supposed to taste, texture, flavors, everything. This is what I did in my book. The book is
Mm,
not um, things that I invented. There are the things that I remember from being
right.
a child. So there's this
Right.
challah and these snacks and these breads and buns and everything in a gluten-free version that I made from gluten-free flours
Hmm.
at home. So it's not about like healthy recipes. No, it's like kids' dreams. Okay,
Yeah.
think about it like this. And this was like I wanted to duplicate all the things I remember as a child, but I forgot the second question you had.
No, it's fascinating because I'm sure if anybody tries to complain to you about how hard having celiac is, your response, I'm sure, is, "No, I know what's hard. I was to your point, I had to do it where I
Exactly.
had to
And
cheat." Yeah.
exactly. And now I remember the second part of the question when you talk about children, and I have in my photo children at all ages and also elderly at all ages.
Mm,
And sometimes people are coming to me and like and sometimes they can be like 70, okay, and they tell me,
mhm.
yeah, I eat sometimes gluten, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're
Yeah.
gonna get cancer.
Right.
I'm not a doctor, but after meeting thousands of people every day from all over the world in my work, and you hear all the stories, I know women that couldn't get pregnant because they didn't knew they have celiac.
Mm,
I met people that their family members died from cancer, and only after that they tested the blood test and they had celiac, so they
right.
didn't knew, and it bring because it's an autoimmune disease, so it brings friends, and people they don't know what they're doing sometimes. No, I don't have symptoms, so I'm not. So I eat. I always tell my customers when there's somebody in the family has celiac, everybody should do the gastro check. Blood test is not enough. But what I
Right.
wanted to talk about, and I talk it in my tours, is that it's a very psychologic food tour, because sometimes I have families of 10 that they
Mm,
are all coming together, and sometimes only one have celiac, and
mm,
it's like the first time they are traveling all together, and in my food tour everybody can eat everything because
right.
this celiac family member is used to that. No, you can't taste this, you can't taste this, and everybody's eating everything around him, and he can't enjoy everything. And for the first time, I take them to these amazing places where everybody can eat
Yeah.
everything. So, and sometimes when the few families they meet other people with celiac from all over the world, so they started to talk, and sometimes it's like it becomes like a very uh, um, it's it's not only about the food. It's about the entire experience, the working together, the talking. It's sometimes they change change the phone numbers, and they like and they meet after the tour, and like it's a it's a very exciting experience for me to
Yeah.
see how things happening. I always say like in a after doing this for hundreds of times, a good tour is a tour that I don't talk a lot.
Mm.
That the
Yeah.
connection between the bonding between the group members is so good that I'm become this thing in the background.
Mm.
If I need to be the entertainer all the time, it's like it's amazing because I'm a good entertainer a
Mm.
person. But when they can manage even like
Right.
without me being the center of the thing, that's amazing because
Yeah.
there's some bonding and interactions between the group members from sometimes from different places in the world, and this is like amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really special. And I'm really thankful that I got to be part of it. I'm curious of what is the process of going to the different establishments where we're able to get the food. What's the partnership like with those places? And does it change? Does it evolve over time? How does that work?
So actually, it's a very interesting story because Barcelona, now is like the most touristic city in the world,
Mm.
with more than 30 million people visiting Barcelona each year. Not all of them stay to sleep over. Sometimes they come with cruises. Sometimes they come especially to Barcelona. Very different kind of tourism, and a lot of the like I think 99% of the food tours are always in the same place, which is the Gothic Quarter, and like the downtown part
Mm.
of the city, very close to the port, Plaza Catalunya.
Right.
Uh, it's like it's very logical. Okay, when you go to New York, you go to Times Square and the Empire State Building. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like I think like the 1% that is not doing the photo in a touristic area. I'm doing it as you did yourself, in a very local and domestic part of the city, a part that usually tourists they don't know about it, and they would never visited this neighborhood without this tour. So when I first approached these businesses, hi, I'm Dvir, I have celiac, I want to do photos. They were like, what? What are you talking about? Let's have a meeting in like next month, okay?
Right.
And I'm like, what? Yeah, yeah. You remember we went to this pizza place, okay?
Yes.
So Eric, the owner, now we are friends. But when I came, when I first came to his business, I went with Ran, my husband, and he was like standing in the front of the business. The rest it just opened, so everything was empty. And I thought, I have celiac. I want to do photos. Da da da. And he's like, okay, can you come in 3 weeks? And I'm like, why? Can't we talk now? Like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah, yeah.
no, I'm busy. And he was like drinking wine
Eh!
out at the restaurant. And like, so this is the area that I'm working. Okay. This is it took time to build a relationship and
Right.
trust. And now, after hundreds of tours, and they know me, they appreciate it. They see the volume of people that Also, they come back after that to the
Mhm.
businesses, they make reservation. So now they understand, but still I'm the only one that is doing tours in their businesses. When you go to
Right.
the Gothic Quarter, there are lots of businesses that would close if it wasn't only by tourism. And here it's the opposite. I'm the only one. So you also get to, again, you know it. You also get to see a very local and domestic part of the city, which is very nice when you do a visit in a as a tourist.
Yeah. I it was nice getting to see different parts of Barcelona,
Yeah.
you're right. And experience it fully. I appreciated it a lot. I'm
And actually,
curious.
actually today I just came back from some meetings because I'm starting to work on another gluten-free food tour in another part of the city
Okay,
because I have customers that want to come back
right.
and they challenge me because they want to see more places. So
Yeah.
I'm working about another option, but
Oh,
there's
wow.
still time to work on that. But I have some good new places
Oh, that's so
to check.
exciting.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk because I'm coming back to Barcelona this
Oh,
summer.
when?
So
Oh, perfect.
yeah, for one
Not in
day,
August.
but
Not in
um,
August.
no, not in August. No,
Okay.
in July. So I'll have to see if I could take this new tour, if it'll be ready by then. I'll
Maybe
definitely.
we'll do a pilot with you.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. I'm curious. That actually was my next question of where do you see this going next? Are you going to need to start building a team? You're so evidently you're building another tour route. Where are you hoping to see this food tour going in the future? Are you hoping to expand to other cities? How I asked you this 2 years ago, so I'm curious to see if your answer is changing or if it's the same.
So I'll start with the last question.
Yes.
I'm not going to expand to other cities because I live in Barcelona and I have
Yes.
to, we just finished renovating our home, and my
Yep.
kids are now like learning 2 blocks from home, so
Yep.
it would be crazy to leave that. I do have some dreams. I have
Mhm.
to show you because I have this dream of taking people to other destinations
Mm.
that they never consider going to because of the celiac.
Right.
Going to Barcelona is easy. They can
Mhm.
do it with me, they can do it without me. You can go to Rome, you can go to London, you can go to other cities. You don't
Right.
really need me. It's a very nice experience. It's amazing experience, but you don't have to do that. In some in some destinations you wouldn't like consider even to go because you say, this is like too much to experience with celiac. It would be too hard. I would have to, I don't know, to bring food from home, things like that. So I have this a very specific destination. I'm going to give you a hint. It's in the east. Uh, that I'm dreaming of taking groups.
Mm.
It's not like a food tour. It's more like a food vacation
Mm.
for people with celiac. It's possible. It's challenging, but it's possible. So that's a dream I have. I also want to open like a local business in Barcelona, but not necessarily like something that serves food, but it's related to food. I
Mhm.
don't want to share too much at this point, but it's something big. Um, and I have some more dreams. So the thing is like that. My husband Ron is also doing food tours. Now he's doing ones with gluten. So
Mm.
he's my
Okay.
competitive. So we both work in tourism. He's doing tours with gluten, and I'm doing the gluten-free tours. We
Yeah.
both in the same neighborhood, but he's taking his customers to other businesses, of course.
Right. Right.
Uh, and I'm now working on my second option, as I told you, for in other part of the city. Um, this is like a full time. It's like, and I get I already have like reservation all the time for like uh almost a year in advance.
Right.
Like the
Incredible.
like May, June, July, October, November, even for now is like 80% sold out.
That's so exciting.
So it's good, and I have reservation for 2027. Actually, I was planning to move to Barcelona to do a lot of siestas and to walk like 2 days a week, and I'm working here
Yeah.
so hard, much more than I planned before I moved there. I came from Israel. We are used to work hard, and I said, okay, I'm going to walk 2 days a week, and the rest I'm going to take siestas, go to the beach. I find myself doing these photos 8 times a week in the high season, which is 8 months in a year.
Right.
So I don't want to work that hard. uh, like I'm not that young. I'm going to be 50. I want to spend some time like resting, watching
Yeah.
some reality shows, and and I find myself getting attacked by people with celiac from all over the, we are coming, and like, okay, a bit, you
Yeah.
know, for people with celiac, there is no other options. Okay, so it's
Right.
not like if in a regular tour, if the guide is not available, they have tens of thousands of other options.
Right.
With my clients, they don't have another options. If people tell me, listen, I come in this date, okay, and I tell them no, they don't have another option.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
So sometimes I find myself, it happens, it doesn't happen a lot, but I found myself like one time doing, I don't remember how many people were in your group, but these days, most of the groups have like the average of 15 people. Okay.
Wow.
So I usually don't do tours with like less than 8 people. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, but I found myself sometimes do like either like private tours, or I
Hmm.
did, and there was like a couple of times that there was this mother crying to me. There was no tours on their dates, and listen, this is my daughter dreams. I went with two. Okay,
Mm.
this is not something that I usually do. It's in a very rare situations. So, but again, I'm the only one, so I have a lot of responsibility. So I can't
Right.
use badly my superpower.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what you're providing is such an essential service. And you know what? If you need some help and need someone to come from the States, I will volunteer as tribute to help you out. I'll suffer in Barcelona if need be.
I had people coming in my tours, writing their names of the places. They were like, I saw they're trying to they have these thoughts about duplicating
Right,
the tour. The thing is that they can't, because like
right,
I work with this establishment that they won't work with other people,
right.
but I understand why other people with celiac would want to do
Yeah,
that, and
yeah,
I encourage people to do it in their territories. Like I would love to get invitation for people like, hi Dvir, I'm doing gluten-free food tour in Georgia,
right.
come and visit. I would be the first one to hop on this plane and do this photo. This is my dream. I would come with my
Yeah,
family. So I
yeah,
really encourage other people, and it's possible. It's possible to do
yeah,
it in London and in Rome and in other
yeah,
places in Italy and other places in the world. People
yeah,
just need
yeah.
to get
Take the
it together.
time and the
Yeah,
energy to do it.
it's
Yeah.
possible. It's possible.
Yeah, it's so special what you're doing. So thank you for all of it. Um, I know that we're sadly approaching the end of our time, so I usually end it with some rapid fire questions. And
Go ahead.
my first one always is, it's not really rapid fire, but my last full question would be, I find that I'm constantly having to advocate for myself and for others, and you are in a very a strange position where you are constantly advocating for other people and making sure that they're taken care of and that they're enjoying their trip and that they feel safe. But when do you find yourself needing to advocate for your own well-being with celiac the most? Is it going to the doctor? Is it going to a restaurant? Is it with family members that don't understand? When are you advocating for yourself the most?
I don't think I'm in this position
Mm,
because celiac is, as I told you, it's something like it's part of my DNA, but I
right,
don't let it to run my life.
right,
So my husband doesn't have a celiac, my daughter doesn't have celiac. I don't want it to be like the only conversation of the day.
right,
I of course understand, like when the people in my food tour comes, it's the first thing they talk about.
right,
They when did you discover your celiac? When you discover when you it's like it's a very big thing. They want to share their life story and to know other. This is not part of what motivates me now.
mm,
I want to. I consider myself living a normal life. I
mm,
go to regular restaurants. I don't necessarily go to gluten-free restaurants,
mhm,
and I find things to eat, and I'm okay. I I don't want it to run my life. This is not
mm,
my life story.
mhm,
This is what I do. This is what
right,
I love to do. It's my job. It's my profession. It's my hobby. But um, I don't want to have like a
it's not your identity.
exactly,
Yep,
exactly. I'm a regular person, and I want people with celiac to see themselves as regular people
right,
because like it's a very strange thing to compare it,
mm,
but people with cancer are regular people.
right,
There are
right,
people with cancer, but they are first of all people.
mm,
So cancer is not something that describes them. They are
right,
still funny, they are still smart, they are
mm,
still vivid, they are still families. Cancer is like the something that it exists, of course,
right,
but so celiac exists in my life. It I don't let it like describe me.
right.
I'm 30 other things before
Before you're
I'm
that.
before I'm celiac.
Right. I love that so much. And I promise the rest of these will truly be rapid fire. I think I know the answer to this, but in your opinion, what is the city with the best food?
Barcelona, and and you will be surprised, but I think like Tel Aviv is really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am not surprised by that, but I am excited.
Yeah.
It makes me more excited to want to
Yeah. A
go
lot
there
of
one
people
day.
will say I think like okay, I'm going to give you the top five: New York,
Mm,
London, Tel Aviv, Rome, and Barcelona. Not in
I love
this
that.
order.
I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah.
that. What is your favorite city to explore?
Wow, definitely Barcelona. I think people they don't know exactly what to do when they come, so most of them like go to the same touristic places. It got so many more things. Even I that I live here, after 2 years, I explore and I found so many new places to hang out in Barcelona every day. It's amazing city and the weather is like crazily good.
I love it. And where is the city where you learned the most about yourself?
Hmm, Tel Aviv, definitely.
Yeah.
Tel
I
Aviv
love
and
that.
London. I think like the 80s in Tel Aviv, 90s. I've been so many times in London. Both of them made an influence, a lot of influence about who I am today.
And tell me where the people can find you and your gluten-free food tour.
So both best places are like one on my website, which is glutenfreebarcelona.com/en,
Mhm.
because the without the n will send you to the Hebrew website, and you need the English one. Second is on my Instagram, which is Dvir, Dvir dot Barcelona.
I love that. And I can't wait for all your future adventures. I will keep poking and prodding to see as they come about because I can't wait to stay in touch and continue hearing about all the things. It's just so magical what you've done. So thank you so much.
Thanks
Because
for
the things
having
that you
me,
did on that tour have stuck with me 2 years later. So thank you. I appreciate it.
and I hope to see you in July.
Yes, yes, please. I'm going to
Perfect.
bring my mom who also has celiac. So we're going to have a
Ah,
good time.
amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Get ready. There's so many new places since you visit last year, so
Oh,
get
so,
ready.
so excited. Well, it's lovely speaking with you. And till
Thank you
next
so
time.
much.
Yes,
Thank you
thank
so much
you.
for having me.
Yes, of course. Have a good one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining me this week for an episode of The Gluten Free Advocate. For more information on what's discussed on the podcast, check out the episode description and or my Substack, The Gluten Free Advocate. If you have any questions or fun stories to share, feel free to reach out at hieatexplorelove@gmail.com. Till next time. This episode is produced by Leigh Francis Productions.